Good morning. First, I wish you all a Merry Christmas if you're celebrating it, and we also got a small Christmas present from Timmy with a balance patch. I was really hoping for it. I wasn't really sure if it's gonna happen. We got one last year on the 26th, so I was still hoping, as there was a update planned for tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be tomorrow. On the 25th, we get a new balance patch. It's still quite early for me, so my voice might not be fully woken up. So we're gonna see what we have right here. First, we have a nerf to KYOGRE. Time to weaken the opponent's goal area after carrying from 90 to 45 seconds. Again, this is the Japanese translation, so stuff could also be wrong. There are no English ones yet, sadly, so we just gotta go with the Japanese ones. And then we have automatic recovery effect acquired after carrying KYOGRE from 5% to 4%. Also very important nerf, as it almost felt impossible to KO certain Pokemon with it. I think it's a good start. I do think still that this part could just be completely gone, right? Like, we don't need this in the game, I feel like. It's already strong enough, the buff on its own, and having Go-Getter. I don't think you need to put more onto the enemy side as punishment for losing KYOGRE. At least in my opinion. Right? Alright, what do we have next? First up, we have Inteleon getting a buff again. Acrobatics going from 7 to 6 seconds. They just keep buffing Acrobatics. I swear, it got buffed like 4 or 5 times in a row now. Not every single patch, but literally has received so many buffs. One of the most buffed moves in the entire game. But always only small, of course. This one another second again, which makes it, of course, insane for liquidation. Which I think this is? Is Aqua Break liquidation? Probably, right? Movement speed reduction to save from 60 to 40%, and damage increase by 5%. Let me see if it says... I mean, liquidation is the one where you slow yourself down. So I assume it has to be liquidation, right? Yeah. So you're less slowed in liquidation. That sounds kind of nice. And also 5% more damage, and also acrobatics getting a buff. So we just have Glaceon point-and-click meta, and I guess we have another point-and-click attacker coming into the meta, unfortunately. But liquidation does feel a bit more fair than Icicle Spear. Definitely. So... yeah, okay. At least no Snapshot buffs either. I don't want to see Snapshot buffed. We have Ho-Oh getting buff again. Increase attack effect on self from 15 to 25. Sacred Fire. Increased attack on self. Oh yeah, okay. Sure, right. That's, I guess, the right translation. Right here, Sacred Fire. After you fly up, you... but no, it's reduced, right? No, it also is increased. Yeah. And its attack is increased by 15%. And now it's 25. After flying into the air. And then we have the Fire Spin, I assume. Shield effect increased by 10%. Increase in percent of damage received in place of friendly Pokemon from 50 to 60%. Making allies who are also in Fire Spin more tanky. And then we have God Bird Plus. Recovery amount 10% increased. What is God Bird Plus? Oh my god. Is that Flamethrower or... I assume so right now. Sky Attack? Recovery amount, I guess it's Sky Attack, right? God Burn Plus, right here, this one. Where the hose on burning ground gradually restore HP. I assume that's getting a 10% buff. I would assume so. Unless it's, I mean, it can't be Unite move because it has a plus. So it has to be this one. It has to be. Suicune getting a buff, but I hope it's for the ones that, you know, need a buff. And we already see Surf. 30% damage increase? 30%! Okay. It's actually pretty good in level 4. Once you get to level 4, it's actually very strong. Freezing Wind, which is Icy Wind. Right? Icy Wind. I'm just gonna have this up so we can... you know, we're on the same page right here. It's this right here, Icy Wind. Slow down effect 20 to 30%. Slow down effect duration 2 to 3 seconds. And damage when Ice Pillar breaks increased by 20%. So they're pretty much just buffing the Ninetales version of Suicune. This is pretty much Ninetales, just a bit more delayed. It's a very fun build, and I do think it does deserve a small nerf, so we'll see how that goes. And we also have its Unite move buff, though, by 10% more energy reduction, so you need 10% less energy, which I don't know why we would do this. Suicune Unite is one of the strongest in the entire game. I wouldn't mind if they buff it if you remove it being able to be used with the eject button, because that's kind of broken as well. But its Unite's one of the best ones in the game. And it already has only 112 second cooldown. So I don't know why we're buffing it. I have no idea. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you why we're buffing this. It is so strong. It stuns for 2 entire seconds. Like, yeah. Sure. Sure. I don't think Suicune needed it necessarily. Alright, what do we have next? We have Decidueye, getting more HP and more special defense, making it strong against mages, of course, who snipe it, or maybe a Gengar running it down. More HP. Good for Razor Leaf, specifically, right? Because that's the one we are always squishier. Juniper, okay. And then we have Shadow Stuffing. Some of the translations are funny. Shadow Stuffing. Damage taken by a Pokemon with a shadow seen onto it when it moves a certain distance away from a target increased by 100%. Damage? I mean, that's Shadow Sneak, obviously. I'm not quite sure what this means, though. If they move away a certain distance? I don't know if that's a new thing or... I'm not sure what that means. Wait. I guess maybe this defense reduction? Maybe it's defense reduction? Damage taken by a Pokemon with a shadow seen onto it when it moves a certain distance away from the target, increased by 1%. Okay, I mean, interesting. So if you shadow sneak someone and they walk a certain distance away from you, they take more damage? I guess? Maybe like, or maybe more defense from 60 to 100% depending on how far they move away from you. That would be interesting. We shall see. I don't think Spirit Checker needed necessarily a buff though. Might have to wait for the translations on this one too. Alright, what do we have next? Machamp is getting a buff. Nice. We have Cross Shot Plus. Attack increase per normal attack from 2 to 3. That's just on the plus version. Heal Wheel. Wait time 9 to 8 seconds. Is Heal Wheel submission? It has to be, right? That sounds hilarious. What has a 9-second... Yeah, submission. Submission getting a 1-second cooldown buff. And the Unite move, Hero Rush getting more defense and small special defense, making Machamp a bit tanky after Unite moving. So once you press this right, you gain stats for 8 seconds. Kind of like a Mega Evolution, actually. More attack, more defense, more special defense. So just a bit tankier. I don't think this really matters much, but sure. I would rather have it have a bit more damage. But at the same time, yeah. I wonder if this is... So, the way it works is, Machamp gets stacks up to 40 times, which means 80 damage. 80 tech damage. Is it 120 now? Or is it just 20 stacks? Or like 30 stacks, I guess. Whatever it is. Bro, I'm not gonna do... wait, I'm not gonna think about it. It can't be... Yeah, it has to be 120, right? Or 30 stacks, right? No. Bro, it's too early for me to do my... I just woken up. I don't... Wait. If it's 3 per... Nah, it has to be 120 then, right? I mean, it can't go to... No, it can be 20. Maybe it's 20 stacks now. 20 is 60. But this is 80. It can't be. 80 doesn't work with 3, so it has to be 120. Okay, we figured it out. Guys, don't ask me. I'm just a Unite player who just woke up, okay? So it has to be 120 attack damage now that you get from it. That sounds pretty nice. I already like this a lot always. Unless they change the max requirement to something else. Or they just, I don't know what they do. We'll see. I assume that's it, right? So instead of 2, you get 3 now. Up to 40 times, which means, yeah, 120 attack damage, right? That sounds kind of nice. Again, every stack is 2 attack, so this is 80 extra attack damage. Alright, we figured it out. Nice. Then we have a Blastoise buff. What? Are we... Hydro Pump, half a second cooldown, 10% more damage, Surfing, gets now always a shield effect and also half a second cooldown, and Surf plus shield amount increased. The disruptive power of combining Hydro Pump and Surf was a little underpowered in the current environment. We've increased the frequency and damage of the move and added a shield effect to Surf. Make it more effective as a defensive Pokemon. Yeah, Timmy is cooked, man. Merry Christmas to us, I guess. Okay. Interesting buffs. I mean, Inteleon is very strong of a buff. Suicune on the other build. Decidueye definitely. Machamp is interesting. This is also insane. So, you got some buffs, definitely, to try out. Then we have Vaporeon. Getting a deserved nerf, currently the best Pokemon in the game. First we have the passive, 20% less recovery. Hydro Pump, 7 to 12% damage nerf. Aqua Ring, 12% less healing. Quick Turn, reduced from 12 to 17% the damage. Damage reduction from 25 to 15. Quick Turn, I mean, again, it's just, this Pokemon's a stat issue. Just like Umbreon. It just has too many stats, and they're just nerfing it, all of it, so that's fine. Quick Turn, damage reduction again. Quick Turn plus, damage reduction from 40 to 30. And then its Unite move, I guess. Damage reduced from 10 to 7. Damage reduced by 10% to 17. How does this work again? And slowdown effect 40 to 30. Let me see what perms Unite. I assume it's a Unite move, right? Is it? Maybe it's not. I mean, it has to be, right? We have Hydro Pump, Aqua Ring, Quick Turn. Oh, Muddy Water. No, of course it's Muddy Water, right? Of course it's Muddy Water. Slowdown effect 40 to 30 and damage reduced by 10 to 17. I mean, I think that's a mistake from 10 to 17, but yeah. Of course that's Muddy Water. Muddy Water is so broken, it has to be nerfed. I would be surprised they only nerfed this, because Muddy Water is the higher win rate move. Okay. Then we have Dadarin. Demise nerfed again? What? Abilities deals additional damage, 15% reduction. Damage when swinging down the anchor reduced by 8%. Wait time when hitting a normal attack reduced from 1 to 0.8. And Whirlpool plus decreased waiting time when hitting a normal attack. So less cooldown when you basic attack someone. With Demise. Mimikyu Trick Room damage reduction effect from 70 to 50%. Oh my god, they're redoing the Mimikyu buffs from ages ago. Okay, I mean, to be fair, it is kind of broken. It's not a popular build always, but it was always broken when it worked. But that's an insane nerf. That is a big, big nerf. It's like a buff to Glaceon. Because this Mimikyu build was very good into Glaceon. Miraidon getting a small nerf on Unite move, damage from 12 to 8%. 12 to 8% reduction. Or, oh, is this 10 to 17 damage reduced, right? That's what it makes. It's not from 10 to 17, it's 10 to 17 removed from the total damage, depending on levels, right? Same here. 12 to 8 reduction. No, this is from... Okay, I have no idea. Anyways. Next up, Mega Charizard X. I'm not sure related for the English version, but it always comes out so late sometimes. Trait superpower, additional damage, 20% reduction on its trait for Mega Charizard X. And Hard Claws ability also. Just the passive getting a 20% reduction, which I think is fair. I don't think Mega Charizard is OP right now, but I think it's fair it gets a small nerf. Overall, solid Christmas patch. Some head scratching, like buffing this. Buffing Ho-Oh, I don't know about this one either. Buffing Blastoise, yeah. Definitely some interesting stuff in here. I'm happy we got a patch. I'm the most happy about this one right here. Kyogre being nerfed, I'm the most happy about. Let me know in the comments how you rate this patch from 0 to 10. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a great Christmas. Bye.